What's going on, guys? Mr. Domo here, and welcome back to the channel. So after a long weekend, I finally got another shipment of some vintage Star Wars action figures graded by AFA. And AFA is, the action figure authority where I mostly send in my, Kenner Star Wars action figures to get graded by. And so today I got two Javas. So here's one and here's two. So there's two Javas. To add to my last 17 collection, I have Anakin Skywalker there, so pretty cool. And also I have a Chewbacca, all graded by AFA. So let me go ahead, take him out of the poly bag, and we could take a closer look at these awesome figures. Alright guys, so there they are out of the poly bag, and so obviously I have two Javas here, and if you guys weren't aware, I am doing a Jawa variant collection, and so I'm really excited to show you this new one that I'm gonna add to my collection. And I'm just gonna go from left to right, but here as you can see, there is some green stitching on the sleeves, but nowhere else. And this is very interesting. So here, this is a 1977 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure, country of origins Hong Kong. This is a Jawa green stitch on sleeves and received a 75. So very interesting. Now, what I've been told is that it is common to see a partial color stitch on a Jawa, but it's more rare to get a full color all over a Java. So that is pretty interesting. But to me, this is very unique because I've never seen one on the market where there's a color stitch just on the sleeve. So that is very cool. And of course, this is a large hood Java. And there's about like three different sizes when it comes to these hoods. So you have a small, a medium, and a large. And AFA really annotates it when it's a small hood. But this is very unique, and you could tell right there. Look how green that is. So very cool. And that is a very interesting one to add to my collection. So as far as color stitches, so there is a purple stitch, a green stitch, a light brown, dark brown, and then there's a dark stitch, and then there is a gray stitch out there. Those are a little bit more rare. And then of course the one I have not seen but I've heard that does exist is kind of like a burnt stitch or like an orange color stitch. And then of course when it comes down to the hoods, you have like the small, medium, and large. And of course you have the famous vinyl cape out there. And then there's two Lily Ladies out there that with those variants, there's actually like a removable hood, and then there's one that's attached hood, and then their blasters are a little bit different. But very unique variants out there when it comes to these Jawas. So the second one here, now I already have this guy in my collection, but as you could tell, this is a smooth cape, version of a Java there. So here we have a 1977 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure, no country of origin, Jawa, small hood, smooth cape, and he received an 85, so really good score. And you could tell the difference with the capes there. So I'll bring up the other one. And as you can see, this one, smooth, and this one looks a little bit more rough. And with the texture on this one, when you do actually have it in your hands, you could totally feel the smoothness of that cape. So obviously this is a small hood, and AFA usually annotates it when it's a small hood, but not really for medium or large hood Java. So really cool to get these guys. And the third one here, now this is Anakin Skywalker. And I am doing my last 17 collection, and so far I have 3 now. So I have the Lando, which is the General Pilot Lando version, and then I have the R2-D2 pop-up saber, and now I have Anakin Skywalker here. And of course, the last 17 collections very interesting because it's kind of like a hodgepodge of figures that they put together. At the kind of like towards the end of Kenner's heyday, but I could see where they were coming from. They were kind of like thinking outside the box, making different interesting figures out there. And so here, this is a 1985 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure, no country of origin, Anakin Skywalker. He received a 70. And I didn't see it when I got him. When I sent him off to AFA, but now I could see why he received that score, because you could tell right there on the top how it's a little bit sun bleached, and then there's some scuffling going on down at the bottom of his legs, and then I believe there's some paint rub there at his hair. But overall, I'm very excited because another addition to the last 17 collection, and there's not really that many variants out there with this guy. I mean, the no country of origin is kind of common with these Anakin Skywalkers. So there he is, really cool. And this is a very interesting mold because it kind of just looks like one solid piece, but his legs are movable just like his arms, and then of course he does have a swivel at his at the head. But very cool, and I'm glad to add that. And I do have another one getting graded to add to my last 17 collection, so I can't wait to complete that. So the last one here, another unique one, is this is a Chewbacca, but the bowcaster's kind of different here, and it's so interesting when I get these guys graded, because it's crazy how many different variants there are out there when it comes to these action figures, But here, let me show you the label. So this is a 1977 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure, country of origins Hong Kong, Chewbacca, and this has a green bowcaster, and he received an 80. So really interesting, because I thought that this was a blue bowcaster, and I thought that was more common, but apparently the green ones are kind of more common with these Chewbaccas. So very cool. And this is a really nice clean Chewbacca. I don't really see any issues besides a little bit of color difference, with the torso, and then, between the legs and the arms and so forth. But overall, really cool, really clean. And like I said, I had no idea that, Chewbacca came with like these green bowcaster. When I sent it off, to me, it looked blue, and I was like, okay, that's kind of common, blue or dark, kind of like a black color bowcaster. But apparently there's green ones out there, so very interesting. But that's what I have so far. I should have another shipment coming in next week. This one was a little bit delayed just because obviously we just had Memorial Weekend, and there's no mail delivery during that day. So but that's pretty much it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I try to upload every week for you guys, and thanks for watching, and thank you for the support, and I will talk to you guys later.